Jeff Pevar è un chitarrista americano che ha lavorato in studio ma soprattutto condiviso il palco con alcuni dei più grandi nomi del panorama musicale del nostro tempo, e parliamo di Ray Charles, di Wilson Picket, di Joe Cocker, di Crosby Stills and Nash. Insieme a David Crosby, al figlio James Raymond, ha dato vita ai CPR con i quali ha pubblicato 3 dischi, e reduce in questo momento dalle date italiane proprio del tour di David Crosby, noi abbiamo avuto il piacere di ospitarlo in studio insieme alla sua adorabile moglie, la musicista e scultrice Inger Jorgensen. Seguite la nostra intervista a Mr. Jeff Pevar.
Looking out on the morning rain, I used to feel so uninspired.
It came very much as a surprise to me to get inducted to the New York Blues Hall of Fame. I'm very, very honored, and there's a lot of artists who have been inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame who I am a big fan of. I am not necessarily a blues artist, but I love to play the blues. And B.B. King once said, I don't know why they call it the blues, because it makes me feel so good to play it. You know? So it makes me feel very honored. I think one of the reasons why I was inducted was some of the work that I did with Ray Charles. I worked with Ray Charles in his band around 1984, 85, 86. And there's a beautiful YouTube clip of me playing with Ray Charles. If you search, Ray Charles and Jeff Pevar, you'll find them. So it was a surprise to me, and I'm very honored to be inducted into the Blues Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm no longer doubtful of what I'm living for. If I make you happy, I don't need to do more. You make me feel.
I have some great Ray Charles stories. I learned early on that Ray Charles loved blues guitar, and I don't know if you ever saw the TV show Kung Fu, where there's the master and Grasshopper, who is learning from the master, and that's how I felt playing with Ray Charles. He was the master, and I was a young, excited boy from Connecticut,
with very long hair,
to play with Ray Charles. So I learned early on, if I played the right note, I could get him to scream in delight. I would play something and he'd go, "Oh, you nasty boy!" And it was such an epiphany for me to be, a Caucasian Jewish guitar player making Ray Charles scream in delight from blues guitar. And it was, I actually quit school in my high school years because I knew music was my path. I never tell people to do that. It's not a recommendation to do, but I was very fortunate that I had an idea of my direction at a very young age. I was playing in nightclubs at 15 years old with older musicians than I. So I was very fortunate that I knew in my heart what my passion was and that my life was going to be music. But playing with Ray Charles, to me, was like my college degree, and getting a chance to learn not only what it was like to play in an orchestra with a big band and many pieces and larger symphonic arrangements and orchestral arrangements, but also to have a chance to make Ray Charles scream in delight. It was a real epiphany and something that changed my life.
Close to you, you make me feel so alive. You make me feel.
So I had been touring with an artist named Mark Cohn. Mark had a big hit called Walking in Memphis, and we were touring as a duo. And we were invited to open for Crosby, Stills and Nash. And Crosby and Nash were big fans of Morricone's music. So when we were opening, David and Graham came back to rehearse some songs with us to get a chance to sing with Mark and I, because we were just touring as a duo. So there was a quartet on stage when we were opening with David and Graham. And about 2 or 3 shows into this 6-date tour that we were sharing the bill with Crosby, Stills and Nash, David said to me, Graham and I have been watching you, and we think you'd be the perfect addition to our duo when we're not working with Stephen Stills. And so at first I was thinking I should say, I don't know if I have time. I have some weddings I have to play. But I didn't say that. I was really excited, and we had a chance to tour as a trio, David Crosby, Graham Nash, and Jeff Pevar together. And we did that for a number of years. And then David had this amazing opportunity to meet his son that he had never met.
With the tide, I want to live in music, breathe in music, know the good vibration, like dark chocolate, deep red wine, taste the groove sensation.
Yeah, I think they go hand in hand, and it's anytime that I have a chance to perform, it's a more collaborative experience. So I'm working with other people. I'm getting the energy from others and from the audience, and it's sort of cycling through. And then I go into my studio, which I spend a lot of time in my art studio, and in there I feel like that energy is carried right into the paintings. And a lot of my paintings are and sculptures are have movement in them, so there's a lot of flowing images and different things that move. People always say that about my work, that there's so much movement. So I think that because of the music, that has kind of brought that into my work more. So yeah.
Far away, get the groove from riding high, like a child in play. I want to live in music, breathe in music, know the good vibration.
When I was only in my 20s, I was living in Northern California, and I had a dear friend who had a music project, and he was actually covering the music of CPR. And all along, when I was a kid, I was listening to Crosby, Stills and Nash because of my parents, and so I already knew of Jeff and the band, but I didn't know the music as well. But then only in my 20s, here I was listening to this music all the time, and I loved it. And I had all the records, and that doesn't happen with a lot of 20-year-olds in that era, it's a little more obscure, this music, it's not as popular as Crosby, Stills and Nash. And so that friend actually was the one who ended up introducing us eventually, because he met Jeff and lent him a guitar on a tour because Jeff's guitar got damaged, right? Damaged. And so my friend Jim lent Jeff this guitar, and then fast forward many years later, then the two of us met in a theater in Oregon where I live, because he was playing with Crosby there. And so it was very special. It's a much longer story, but yeah. I'm trying to condense it a little bit.
I'd like to believe that certain people are supposed to meet. The day I met Inger, I saw her for the first time, but I recognized her, and it was the strangest feeling that how can I know this person, because we're just meeting. This is the first time I'm meeting her, but is it possible that we've known each other for lifetimes? I don't know. But,
we had the same experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I just like to think that some people are supposed to meet along the way, and it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. And just to say about my wife how much I love her, of course. And she's a fantastic musician, and we write songs together. We're working on a record together that we're going to put out very soon. And she's just an amazing artist, an amazing sculptor. And we're going to go to Florence to look at the sculpture there, so she has a chance to, because this is her first time in Italy.
Yeah.
So we're excited about that too.
Yeah.
I have had opportunities to play with lots of people, and they've all influenced my ability to feel music and to create music and to understand what music is. I'm a self-taught musician. I never took any lessons. I never, studied books or went to music school or anything like that. It's been a very natural evolution for me, and everyone I've had a chance to play with is part of the embroidery of who I am as a musician. I think there's a natural evolution for people to want to create their own music, and there's been different opportunities for me to do that. It's very exciting for me to have a chance to write music with Inger, and because we have this spiritual bond, we create music that's very close to the heart. I'm very proud of it. And I actually released my own record. It's a record called From the Core, and I recorded this in the Oregon Caves, and it was actually happenstance. It was almost a mistake that this happened. It's not a mistake, but it was by chance. A friend of mine had hired me to write music for a documentary on the Oregon Caves National Park, the National Monument.
Chew your food and feed your head.
Thank you.
Hello to everyone on Jam TV. Thanks
Hello.
for having us today and being here with us, and it's been really fun.
Thank you, Jam TV. It's an honor to be here. Jeff Pevar and Inger Jorgensen. Arrivederci!
Was the best damn meal that he ever got. Feeling ethereal, he floated away. He never worried, he did it twice a day. 3 times on Saturday, it suited his mood. Charlie sure was an ethereal